Hello all and welcome back to my Let's Play of Bee Simulator. Oh, I mean Harvester. Seriously, the developers had to loop the buzzing sounds? Game of the year. Apparently this house is the perfect nesting ground for wasps. Harvester is the perfect nesting ground for wasps. No, that music's all wrong for what's here. Well, the cabinets are the perfect nesting ground for wasps. No, I will not stop making that joke.
It's not often that I get visitors.
It stings
Are
a
you
bit.
the wasp woman?
Shut up,
I'm
Steve.
Tetsua Crumb. The ignorant of harvest called me the Wasp Woman. A pejorative, no doubt. Born of fear and a poverty of imagination.
That literally makes
I
no
don't
sense, for reasons that I don't want to
Politics of
spoil.
honey, the Judeo-Christian rites of sacrifice and conventional taboos against unbridled pleasure are all responsible for the prejudice against wasps.
You waspsist.
The politics of honey are intertwined with the age-old struggle of the aesthetic versus the commercial. Because I choose to raise wasps instead of bees, I'm frowned upon by the community. Why?
Well, wasps are assholes.
Well, raising bees is acceptable because they produce honey. But sometimes it's not what is produced, so much as what is performed.
Now allow
Don't
me
see
to
any
show you the
particular
wasp
use for
dance.
wasps.
Why must everything have a use? Is money always the determining factor? More slender.
What does Slender Man have to do with
more
this?
aerodynamic than the bee. The wasp is a joy to behold.
Oh, buzz off.
Beautiful and juicy.
I
Isn't that
don't think
enough to
juicy is the
compensate
correct...
for the
You know
little
what? This is
drawbacks?
Harvester. Never mind.
Well, as you can see, the little darlings do love to sting. Another source of prejudice for the masses, and another reason to love them. Bees are like animals. They sting only for a reason, for sacrifice. They have no conception of individual sensation, of pleasure.
I don't know. I've seen the Bee movie.
Yes, a great deal of pleasure. The wasp is a sensual being, not a laborer, hedonistic instead of industrial. Some think them quick to anger. In truth, they are easily swayed to ecstasy. They penetrate your flesh, and the muscular contractions in their thorax as they pump venom could be likened to the muscular contractions of ejaculation, each painful welt, an act of love.
Well, alrighty then. Good night, everyone.
Regard the wasp. Wasps produce nothing for others, but only for themselves.
Little greedy assholes.
Wasps build nests and more wasps, nothing more. They spread into eaves and attics, not to make honey for supermarkets, but to buzz and rustle on their own.
She sounds like she could use a lozenge.
perpetuating their own agenda, growing stealthily, surely. The most relentless of insects.
We animated this wasp and damn it, we're gonna show it off.
Innocent children. What better way to describe the wasp?
Okay, we get it,
Carefree,
lady.
Wild, beautiful things. If they wish to share their love with babies, or any of the rest of you ignorant hicks, that is not my concern.
She says that, but I bet she'd be super upset if her wasps were cheating on her with another person.
Regard the
Huh, I'm speedrunning the game now, apparently.
You should cultivate
Oh,
an
gotcha. I
appreciation
guess I just had to know what the other dialogue option
or
said.
you won't go far in this life.
Lame.
When a bee stings, it rips itself apart.
I don't know what makes this more awkward, the topic itself, or the fact that both
Its appeal
Steve and the
to
Wasp Woman are
raised
staring at me as they
worshiping
talk.
God that demands sacrifice and atonement. But the wasp is promiscuous. They are not as sympathetic to the masses because they don't die when they sting. They live to sting another day, and they take pleasure from it.
So, what's everyone playing lately? Let me know down in the comments. Honestly, I'd rather think about that than whatever's going on here.
A triviality.
Well, triviality kind of sums up this whole
It's not
experience.
often.
Well, apparently it's night now. I guess cemeteries have that effect. Not Boxcar Willie! I'm guessing this is a shout out to Roberta Williams. Not sure though. But enough about Steve. I wonder if that's a reference to Lee Jacobson. Fun fact, Lee Jacobson, the person that produced this game, is listed as playing Mr. McKnight, the guy that we saw at the end of the last video. Well, you better make a copy of it just to be on the safe side. Really makes you think. Oh man, is Steve gonna rob a tomb? I guess we need an offering of meat to get in. Good job, Steve. Okay, let's cut to the next scene. Oh boy, time for some real wacky shenanigans. I have a feeling most of this video might be just talking to this guy. Steve doesn't seem to have much to say regarding the random base here.
Halt! Who goes there?
They tell me my name is Steve.
All right. This is Section 21. Keep your
So I
distance,
don't
son.
know what Section 21
We won't have
refers to
blow your
here.
head off.
Wikipedia,
That
the
makes
repository
two
of
of us.
knowledge, has
So
4
you're the
entries.
amnesiac,
It could be
huh?
a reference to the nurses section
Sort
of
a crap
Arlington
dodging
National
toy, the way I see
Cemetery.
it.
It could be the
But at
Canadian
least you're not
Charter
an
of Rights
alien.
and Freedoms, which revolves around language
See their
rights.
ships every now and then.
It could be the UK Housing
I'd
Act of
swell bags
1988,
one in the woods.
or the Indian
Who are
Penal
you?
Code defining
Colonel
public
Buster
servant.
Monroe,
I'm just going to
commander
assume
of
it's
the
gibberish.
Harvest nuclear missile installation, keeping America safe from those who would dye our flag red, white, and pink.
These are nuclear missiles?
Goddamn right they are. Every one of them ready to rain death on the Ruskies. All I gotta do is hit the button and blammo! The price of vodka goes through the roof. Along with the vodka.
Well, I suppose you have, you know, safeguards against accidents?
Safeguards? Don't be such a weak sister. There are no safeguards. This is the 50s.
Hell yeah.
Then you have sole control of the, missiles.
That's right. Been in charge here since WW2. When I got my lower torso shot off in the war.
I hope one of the options is the
Those
salute.
pennyweights in Washington wanted to stick me behind a desk. To hell with that. They owed me. I left my legs in Dusseldorf. They owed me. Of course, they felt that after the trauma of having to crawl from Germany to England trailing my intestines behind me, I was too emotionally unstable to continue in the military.
Perfect
That's
for
why they
that
gave
desk
me this
job,
nice
though.
cushy job, and put me in charge of the nuclear missiles. Why are you asking about the button, son?
I'm just a little nervous about it. I mean, suppose an accident happens.
Don't get your panties in a bunch, mister. The button is perfectly safe.
Perfect
I keep it on
response.
my person all the time. No commie bastard is getting his mitts on this button. No siree, Bob. No one initiates a nuclear holocaust in Harvest except me.
Or Steve, God willing.
Doesn't that make you feel better? Frankly, all these questions are making me a little suspicious of you. Maybe you're one of those pink-blooded Americans. Can you give me any reason why I shouldn't shoot you right now?
It'd be nice to not have to cut too much video.
Right, huh? Your average commie bastard is always only too ready to hide behind the Constitution.
I mean,
Real
he's not
Americans
wrong.
waive their rights for the common good. Would you? You talk a good game, mister. But so does your average commie bastard. The Kremlin teaches its agents to talk their way out of a scrape. What do you think about that, son?
Have you seen Steve? Guy can't talk at all.
Glad to hear it, son. You had me going there for a minute, asking all those questions about this base. Came this close to getting blown away. As it is, maybe you ought to get out of here before I change my mind.
You know what? At
Go
this
visit
point,
those
just do it.
Ponzi firemen. But whatever
Wait,
you do,
Ponzi?
stay away from that damn lodge. That's the most suspicious place in Harvest, if you ask me. Harvest is a fine town, steeped in traditional American values. But that lodge, well, it makes me suspicious, don't mind saying it. They've got their fingers into everything around here. Like a certain red commie bastard menace which shall be nameless.
Santa?
You read me wrong, mister. I think you should join the lodge, infiltrate it, and report back on any red sympathizers.
Man,
Report
everyone
could
in this
affect my
town confuses
decision
me.
on what I've got to do. I wanted to get back into the thick of the action and out of this desk job, but those firemen are a damn peculiar bunch of ladies. I thought they'd object to my lack of a lower body, but they wouldn't let me join the fire department because they said I couldn't draw naked men. Can't draw naked men? Who the hell wants to? I could draw one if I was a sick commie pervert. Look, I did this last night. What do you think?
I think I found the image I'm going to use for the thumbnail for this video.
Thank you, son. You're a good soldier.
This man is like the dad Steve never had.
Halt!
It's just me, Steve.
That's good.
Wait,
Someone has
those
to keep
choices
them in
made no
check.
sense.
I'm glad you stopped by again. I want you to infiltrate those firemen, mister. There's a lot of art going on over there. I want to make sure they haven't turned into commie bastards. You got that? And don't come back unless you've got information for me.
Well, sir, they have mauve fabric.
Aside from your commie bastard, your alien from another planet is the greatest threat to our democratic way of life. Did you know that 90% of sightings occur within the area of military installations?
And that
Well, I shoot at
73.67% of statistics are made up.
But my bullets ping harmlessly off of their hulls. I suspect those things operate out of the lodge, but just try to convince anyone in Harvest of that. I tell you, son, a nuclear holocaust would be preferable to a takeover by big-headed aliens from Pluto.
Poor Pluto.
Lucky for
You're
us.
still a planet to me, buddy.
I'll be making that call when the time comes. Remember, duck and cover.
I'll find the nearest desk to hide under.
Bolt, it's just me. What do you want?
All right, let's see if we can fire those
That's good.
missiles.
Someone has to keep them in check. I remember you. You're the soldier I sent to check on the firemen. Did you find evidence? That's what I thought. The kookaburras told me, but I wouldn't listen. They lie so much.
And now we're getting
But
into
now my
wacky
crust is
territory.
golden brown. Can't you hear the timer ding?
Well, at least Steve died before the bombs exploded.
Halt!
It's just me.
What are you?
Hey, time to see the other option.
I remember you. Thank God for that. Your next assignment is to infiltrate the lodge before it's too late. Get it at all costs, mister. Or God help us all.
Unfortunately, you can't leave the lodge once you get inside. Otherwise, I'd be curious what this guy has to say.
Before you came to Harvest, your lower torso was shot off in the war?
That's right. I was behind enemy lines. The night was dark. The rain
And llamas were everywhere.
plastique I was supposed to rig the bridge with, precariously sandwiched between my knees as I crawled in the muddy mud. I didn't see the Jerry taking aim at me with his machine gun until half of me was flying through the air. With a quick spray of bullets in a straight line, it shot my body clean in two.
Like a kookaburra
Lower
ripping
body
its prey
landed at
apart.
that Jerry's feet. I can still hear him laughing as I started crawling in the general direction of England, calling behind me in broken English, "Mein Freund, where is your legs? Looky, what have we here? Some legs? Hey, did anyone lose some legs?"
I hate when a game makes fun of itself.
I'll
Mostly
never
because it's
forget
taking
looking
material
back
from
over
me.
my shoulder and seeing that crowd doing the can-can with my legs. Still a few weeks later, with only my compass and a pair of nylons, I made it back to safety. Now the Krauts are our friends and the commie bastards are our enemies. But even so, there's at least one crowd out there that I'll never invite over to Sunday dinner.
The sour kind.
The funny thing about it is, you wouldn't think so, but you've got about 3 miles of intestines in your body, all curled up. Now that came in handy as I gauged my progress. While I crawled from Germany to England, my intestines would unravel, such that every 3 miles I'd have to roll them back up and stuff them back in. It became my benchmark, what I lived for.
I guess by confessing,
Every
he's
time I
receiving his
stuffed my
ab
intestines
solution.
back in, I
I'm sorry, that pun was
slowly
gut-wrenching.
closer.
Not sure how I can rectify
In
it.
this way, I kept my sanity. That's what I told
And you're
those
still the
idiots
beacon
in
of sanity,
Washington.
sir.
But did they listen? No. Some weak sister shrink said I was too emotionally unstable to kill Koreans, so they transferred me to this boring stockpile of armed nuclear warheads. And to top it off, those pansy firemen won't let me join the Harvest Volunteer Fire Department. Oh, it makes you wonder, what's the point of going on?
Let's take another look at that drawing.
Of course, they wouldn't have given you the, button if you were really, say, emotionally unstable.
Of course not. I was given a full exam by my captors in the concentration camp when I was captured during my second penetration behind enemy lines. A year after I lost my lower torso.
Wait,
It was quite
what?
thorough.
I need to hear
What
this
did it
story.
say?
I don't know. I can't read German. Okay, yeah, you can't get shot in 2 equal but separate portions without feeling a little down. Who wouldn't? That doesn't mean I'm unbalanced. A little lighter maybe, but my balance is fine. Still, is it abnormal?
Four
to
good
harbor
jokes.
doubts
Good
late
job,
at night
Harvester.
When your boots in the corner mock you? Is it sick to want to poke them in their eyelets and rip out their laughing tongues? Then you feel bad, and you invite them under the covers with you, but will they come? Oh no! Spit and polish, trump, a long, long way to Tipperary, especially when you're waddling on your hands.
Okay, I need a series or
gloves,
podcast
they
or
say,
something
and their
that's just the
high-pitched
insane
little
ramblings
voices
of
and
this
snicker
guy.
in the boot
I also need to
like
know how he went
talking
back to
about
war.
jockstrap behind my back. They all deserve a good nuclear holocaust. Son, when you've had your body chopped in half, you know a thing or two about fear. You learn that when
The
something
way characters
actually
go from
happens,
screaming to
it's
calm will
as
never
bad
not be
as you
funny to me.
imagine it would be. Oh, sure, I can't write my name in the snow. I had to shell out a few simoleons for portable IV drips, colostomy bags, and so on. The pain is hardly what I'd call constant. I have my good days when I pass out completely.
Well, it's kind of like I
We're
feel
never
like
asked to
doing
endure
now.
more than we're capable of handling, mister. Folks would die in a nuclear holocaust, but nobody would die who wasn't going to die anyway, sooner or later. And the rest of us? Why, we'd take a little R&R at the old radiation bunker, climb out in 2 weeks, and go back to work, refreshed and ready to contribute as productive members of society again. Makes me wonder why I don't just push the button and take me a nice vacation. Can you give me any reason why I shouldn't?
Because the bunkers aren't accessible?
You're right, soldier. I'm sorry. Sometimes the intense pain clouds my mind. The kookaburras start whispering to me about the pretty mangoes and the high trees, and I know they can see me. They see all of us. Can't you hear them? Chattering with the llamas behind our backs? They want our cornflakes, but they won't take the milk!
This is probably the greatest conversation in any video game ever.
Have you lost your mind? You think you can toy with me just because I have no Lord Torso, you damn kid, you? Or maybe you're one of those commie bastards.
Sir, I feel like we've been through this before.
I don't follow.
Because you physically can't.
Have you lost your mind? Have you lost your mind? You think you can toy with
Ah,
me just
darn.
because...
All roads are starting to converge on commie bastard.
Remember,
Alright, enjoy your missiles, sir. I have an unfunny game to comment over. The weather is very weird in Harvest. A swastika or a flattened spider. You know, either or. Ah, there's that lovely buzzing sound that Harvest is known for. Dr. Larson's office? It's so graphic, but we won't show you. Bet you wish you could see it, though, don't you, player? It sounds like someone is having a rough go in the bathroom, and that's grosser than anything Steve is describing.
Can't have that, Stephen. I need it for my work. And may I say you're a rude young man for attempting to steal it.
I was only gonna borrow it.
Indeed. And have you anything I could hold as security?
I can get you a nudie magazine.
Like what? Money?
I'm afraid that's not good enough. I need that glue for my work. You must present me with something significant if you'd have me part with it.
So, fun factoid as we watch two grown men argue about glue, I believe Mr. Moynihan is actually the designer, writer, director of Harvester, Gilbert P. Austin.
Stephen,
Who are you?
I am Daniel Moynihan, mortician and proprietor of the Wayward Hotel.
Most people ask me why I don't remember their names.
Well, you always were a kidder, Steve. I try not to involve myself in the affairs of the living. Your loss of memory is of no concern to me, true or false. Ironic, considering my recent involvement in a charity event.
What are you talking
I
about?
hate to know what
My
kind of cookies this
complaints
guy
were
is
central
baking.
to the scheduling of the upcoming Harvest Bake Sale. I'm gratified the Order of the Harvest Moon got involved. The proceeds will certainly help cover my losses. As always, the Order of the Harvest Moon has taken the lead in addressing our societal ills. Through their sponsorship of the blood drive and the bake sale, the lodge ensures that all our needs are met.
Needs. Such as...
Oh,
Pardon me,
you
there
know.
are
Wink,
corpses
wink.
to prepare, and my losses have been substantial of late. If you're sincerely interested in the Order, however, you should stop by the lodge and speak with the Sergeant-at-Arms.
Why should I be interested, Mr. Moynihan?
Of all the spots in Harvest, the lodge is the most
I
prominent.
don't know why that's so funny,
Literally and
but hearing Steve sound
figuratively.
like a kid there is just funny to me.
It is the ambition of everyone here to join. And join you must to attain wisdom.
What kind of wisdom?
Well, the kind that
If
can
I
be
knew
obtained
I'd
by
be
filling out a
able to.
form.
I have the feeling you have what it takes to join the Order, Stephen. We all believe that. Whether or not you live up to your potential is up to you.
No, be the best you that you can be, you little scamp.
This fake sale is a joint effort of the Harvest PTA and the Order of the Harvest Moon. The proceeds will be used to set up a fund for transients. In other words, bums and societal rejects without families who wander into Harvest uninvited.
Then the Order is setting up shelters for the homeless?
Hopefully right next
Not
to the
shelters.
missile silo.
Graves. You see a great number of these hobos die while passing through. Don't ask me why, it's what those people do. Use your common sense, Stephen, memory or no. If they were involved in setting up homeless shelters, then why would I be involved? And why would I be sustaining losses?
Maybe because you're a crappy businessman? I don't know.
It seems that, like some elephant's graveyard, people of low station come to Harvest to die. They simply drop dead, penniless, and they all need burials.
Harvest,
God
the
knows by
destination
putting
for
these
your
people up
drop-dead
in the Wayward
needs.
Hotel, I do more than my fair share. So why must I pay for the coffins and burial materials as well? My losses to the dead are substantial. Hopefully the bake sale will offset some of them.
Then we get to play the hotel upgrade minigames.
As owner of the only hotel in town, I do my best to accommodate any hobo who straggles into town, vacancies permitting. I really don't recall. We get so many low-life dregs passing through here, I can't remember every little death that occurs.
Luckily,
Are there
I
that
did
many?
write them all
As I
down.
said, sliced open on a mortician's slab, every corpse looks the same. Red and juicy.
But surely you'd remember if these deaths were an unusual occurrence.
You sound like you're launching some sort of investigation, Stephen. That would be most unwise.
Because you don't have the credentials, my friend.
Yes, I prepare them.
Jeez,
I
nothing
use
like
this
seeing a wall of
aspiral
text
glue
with a
to
guy
close
that
my
speaks like he's going at half
incision rather
speed.
than sutures. It's much faster, more efficient. Of course, it only holds for a short while, but once they're in the ground, who cares if they split open? They will anyway. The pressure of the gases and the worms pressing outward, rupturing the cavity open. So why bother with fancy needlework?
A cold-blooded approach.
Dude's saving all this time and
My
equipment.
losses.
You'd think he would have
Do
more
you
money.
realize if it weren't for the efforts of the Order of the Harvest Moon, the bake sale and so forth, even with the Wayward Hotel, I'd be hard-pressed to stay in business. You're spouting gibberish.
That we can both agree on.
You're spouting gibberish.
Yeah, I guess it was worth a shot.
I'd say it's been a pleasure, but I find the company of the living so wearisome.
I'm the same way, but just Steve's presence. Sure, the waiting room is quieter, but the conversation is much more pleasant. Heh, sucks to your bells. What? On that note, time to leave, I guess. What horrors await us in the Wayward Hotel? Find out next time on Harvester! Oh my god, Mr. Moynihan really sucked the fun out of this game. Luckily, I think I only talked to him one more time. Well, regardless, I hope you enjoyed this video and got a laugh or two. As always, thank you for watching. Hey y'all, a beta version demo of my game, Tales of Hyperia the Crimson Knight, is available to play over at my itch.io page. The link is down in the description. The final demo version is set to release by the end of the year, and will see massive improvements and upscaling. Make sure you stay tuned for updates.